see what questions. Okay, early breakthrough. That's a topic. Princess Diaries legacy. Navigating indie versus studio projects. Character depth. TV guest roles. Okay, we got some good stuff here. we got some good stuff here. Well, early breakthrough. Let's see. I started working professionally when I was 7. The direct question is, your performance in Welcome to the Dollhouse became a defining moment of 90s cinema. What did the role teach you about yourself as an actor? Nothing.
I was at your table trying to find you. So hello everybody.
You go up now, just leave that to it.
That's what I miss.
We got through question 1.
You got to see those, it's the embarrassing ones. So hello everyone, sorry about that. There was a bit of miscommunication. We were waiting around the green room downstairs trying to find you, so one ran up, one ran down.
Yeah.
What did you have a nice lunch?
Oh, it's good enough.
It's good.
Good enough.
And so will this panel be. Okay, so...
Just leave it. Let's just go.
So what did you say so far, sorry?
About Welcome to the Dollhouse.
Oh yes. So, okay, should we move on to Princess Diaries?
We
I think that's what a
can.
lot of people are here for.
Well, we don't know. Did you take a poll? I've got a very
I was going
fan
to.
base.
I know. I'm worn out, just running downstairs. I haven't run in years. As it shows.
Take a breath. Do you want some of this? It's
I've got
cold.
some.
Okay, there you
Thank
go. Good enough.
Sponsored by energy drinks. You can tell this one's not being filmed, can't you? Okay, so, so Princess Diaries first then. Do you want to go back to the Dollhouse first? Everyone happy to move on?
They don't care. They're just hot.
Yeah, they are. So Princess Diaries, how was that role for you?
It was grand. It was lovely. It changed my life in a lot of ways.
It was a great film. My family love it. We've watched it quite on a loop.
Well, thank you.
1 and 2. We're looking forward to hopefully the third one that's been rumoured for a while.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yeah, it's been a long while.
Oh, and if anyone does want to ask questions, you can put your hand up or there's a microphone on the left. If anyone has any questions to start with. Yeah, sorry, yeah.
If you're contractually obliged not to say anything, that's fine, obviously. But is there any rumours that you know of about a third film?
So this has been going on for quite some time. You know, it's like, I feel like Princess Diaries 3 is like Marla Hooch and the Batting Box in A League of Their Own. You know, where the investors in Disney are all saying different signals, and it's just, is it going, is it not? Is it going, is it not? So hopefully it will be going, but you know, as with all businesses at this time, it's a topsy-turvy world. So I'm hoping, I know Annie is hoping, you know, we have everybody on board, so fingers crossed. You know, write letters.
Where would you see your character being this timeline?
I would see her being in the Amazon rainforest, like practically a Luddite. Just has gone completely different, you know, and just it still has that activist spirit, you know.
Will listen to podcasts and take it off.
Yeah, I mean, but perhaps, maybe she's doing her podcast in the Amazon jungle. I don't know why I've always seen her there, you know, just like deeply immersing herself and going on all these wild adventures.
But would she still be friends with her?
I think that, yeah, I feel like there's a very unique relationship that they have that no matter, it's like I have a few mates, right, where we won't talk for a decade, but then when we talk, we're talking for 6 hours, and it's like, you know, we never stop talking. But I think that's all relationships really, right? You know, we have this idealized version, I think, of, or we're fed a version of what friendships are supposed to look like, you know, but the older that you get, you know, life gets in the way and whatnot, and but yeah, I still think they'd be very close.
If you could choose to be any different character in Scream, what would they be?
Oh, I mean, Roger Jackson's voice, the voice of Ghostface, and I'd be working all the time. But in terms of character, you know, I think like Martha really, like Martha, I think is pretty awesome, if not underutilized, you know, but she's so much fun to play, you know.
Yeah, it'd be good to see her come back and be a bit more. They built up her character, but then they just have a sidelined her a bit too much. But at least she gets to live.
For now.
For now. Is that always the way if you do get the next script, is to try and check if you've survived or not?
No. I mean, she's gonna have to go at some time, you know, or maybe it's gonna be that thing where they bring it back and I'm in my 80s.
And you're the ghost face.
I mean, yeah.
The final trilogy in their 80s, you're the last one. No one expects it at all.
Yeah.
So what was it like being brought back for the 5th one
Yeah.
after so long? How did that come about?
I mean, it was very surprising and, you know, really wonderful. COVID was still happening at that point, and I talked with Matt and Tyler from Radio Scream, and they were wonderful. And then, you know, Guy and Jamie that wrote the script, they really had a handle on it, you know, and I feel like it was such a wonderful tribute for Wes, you know, and to Wes. And I think what they've done with the reiteration of this franchise has been incredible.
Anyone have any questions about the Scream franchise? Yeah.
Having taken part in so many different like genres, like what would you say horror brings as like a fun thing? Do you know what I mean? Like taking part in horror film.
I have a special relationship with horror, and I can really thank my wife for that, because historically I'm not a fan of horror. I'm not a fan of being scared. And I got to really have a beautiful education and a new relationship to what I call the greatest church, which is a darkened movie theater, where you're getting together with a bunch of people that you don't know, and you're all sharing in this experience. And I'm trying to think, it was the movie that just was with Rachel McAdams.
Oh, Send Help?
Send Help. How many of you have seen that? Right. So without having to be spoilery, or actually no, because like it's already passed. Like it's been out so long. But that scene, if you know what I'm talking about, that one scene where you think she's gonna, and then she doesn't. There were two young women to the left of me, and like totally in their get-ups, had blankets, just really ready to just be in it. And that scene happened. You'll know it when you see it. And I was like, oh! And I just instinctively turned to these two strangers that were right there, and we shared a moment, you know, and that's the power of cinema, and specifically horror, because a lot of horror is centered around the other, the outsider, the freak, the misfit, the one who doesn't fit in. And I think it's very, very special to be able to share in that, and then also to be able to be a part of it from the creative side. You know, it's really, really something. So I've grown to have a deep love and appreciation for horror, for sure. I still don't like getting scared though, but I also understand that life is scary, and the cinema and the movie theater is the perfect release valve for that. You're in a safe space to scream. You're in a safe space to release whatever tension you've been carrying around. And if the film does their job well, it provides that. So I hope that answered the question. Yeah.
So talking of horror, what was your experience with the infamous scene in Hostel 2? Was that scene very graphic? It was very in your face. How was all that, the filming aspect of that? Hanging upside down is probably not the best of.
Well, I earned my fucking paycheck. I trained for 2 months on an inversion machine. So an inversion machine is, you go up on this thing and there are these little booties, and then you hang upside down. And so I did that for 2 months, and I started at 30 seconds, then to a minute, then to a minute and a half, so on, so on. And then I got to 25 minutes. So by the time we were shooting that, I was able to, they would have me upside down for 25 minutes at a time, and then I would take a quick smoke break and then get right back to it. And we shot it, it was the last scene I shot. We shot it over 2 days, 14-hour days each day. Yeah.
How did it feel after when you saw the scene? Did you put in that much work in it? It's very open as well, and you're quite vulnerable in the state you're in.
I mean, it's shocking. I feel that every actor desires to have an experience where they, in some way or another, leave their body, metaphorically speaking. And I definitely had that, you know, because also in Prague, there's no safety regulations. So I'm really hanging upside down 12, 15 feet in the air, and there's no soft pad. There's nothing like that. And at one point, the strap on my foot started to slip. And because I had those things behind my back, plus this, I couldn't really tell them that. And I was terrified that I was going to actually, like, fall, crack my head open, and die. And so I think at that point, I just was like, okay, this is gonna be what this is gonna be. But it turned out good enough, I guess.
It looked amazing. It was, and the views for all the posters and all the publicity and things. But yeah, it does. Looking at it, also you feel the fear coming through it. Yes, amazing work.
Thank you, thank you.
But would you ever do anything?
Absolutely fucking not. Never, ever, ever, ever again.
But do you
Never.
feel the sense of accomplishments for achieving the growing the 25 minutes, things like that? Do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, because part of what I love about being an actor is getting to push myself to spaces, whether it be mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, that I didn't think that I was capable of. And the work that went into it and the accomplishment after, you know, because I never think about the end result because then you're just, or at least I feel I'm setting myself up for failure and disappointment, you know, which might be a bit pessimistic of me to just, yeah, but regardless, this isn't a therapy session. You know, and at least now, if I have the grace and fortitude to make it to 70 or 80, I can look back and be like, wow, yeah, you look good. You look good. There you go.
Yeah, hi. But it was just about your experience working on The Devil's Advocate with Pacino, going full Pacino, Reeves, and was it Charlize?
Yeah. I mean, it was wonderful. I remember it was very, very cold, and the casting director of that movie, Mary Calhoun, who is notorious for just being very specific about who she desired to bring in. And I remember auditioning, and they wanted a Southern accent, and I gave a Southern accent, and then I think I met with Taylor, the director, and then we shot it, I think it was like January or February in New Jersey, and the scene is supposed to take place in northern Florida at the height of summer. So I just remember being freezing, and it was the first time that I had done like a studio film, because all of the other films that I had done up until that point had been independent films. And I was fascinated that he was using 3 cameras at the same time. I just thought it was just absolutely, absolutely fascinating, just such a different beast. But yeah, it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry to take it away from the horror fans. I'm a massive sort of Princess Diaries fan, and the character of Lily, the way her personality through those movies, just being true to herself and honest and not being afraid to say what she feels. That's something I like to try and. What do you think you sort of taken from playing her? Because I sort of obviously you feel like quite young when you sort of played her, and what was like one of the big moments, and I think sort of.
I mean, I feel like looking back, she definitely said some cringy things, and I mean, your dad's been dead 3 months. You're not over it yet. Like, and your parents are therapists. Like, and my parents are therapists. It's like, do you have any kind of empathy? You know. And I also recognize that, you know, she also recognized most times when she was in the wrong and apologized, which not a lot of adults do, you know, let alone teenagers. Yeah, you know, she's really, she was really an interesting character to play, and I think something that like people don't recognize sometimes is that I am not her, you know. It wasn't a documentary, and so I'll just like occasionally just get these random messages where they're like, people either love Lily or they hate her. There's no in between. And I'm like, listen, man, I didn't write the script. Like, I'm just saying these lines. I have no power to be like, Gary, I don't think that's a good line. I think we should change it. You know,
Say what it is, it's like how to pull on, like she doesn't apologise for being herself, like especially in the second movie when she's grown into herself more, less sort of, as you said, awkward, embarrassing.
Yeah.
She doesn't say,
yeah.
like the right arm, the like sort of, with the journalist, I'll tell her where she can put her out.
Yeah.
And like the sergeant major, because that's the first time I'd heard a woman being like allowed as a man, and she's like, yes, you know what, I can do this.
Oi, well, I love that, and I think that is wonderful. And for me, I grew up on, you know, Betty Davis, you know, Carol Lombard, Katharine Hepburn, these women that were strong in their own right, and so that wasn't like a foreign space for me, you know. And I think that I've always, or most times, have had a fierce sensitivity to injustice, and what's the point of having a voice if you're not going to utilize it? And what I do hope, though, is that if we do the third, that her voice has become even more refined, you know, because there's a reason that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and should use them accordingly.
And finally, before we wrap up, can you just tell us a little about your time on Wednesday?
It was grand. It was grand. It was grand. It was grand. I got to spend almost 7 months in Ireland, and got to be away from the shithole that is the United States. You know, and I got to work with Tandaway. It was just absolutely incredible, and got to work with Tim Burton, and got to reunite with Jenna, who I haven't seen since Scream 5, you know, and it was the first time in a long time that I worked with actors, directors, you know, who really cared about the characters within the scene. And because we were shooting, I think, the first 4 episodes all at the same time. You know, so one day you'd be shooting episode 4, and then the next day you'd be shooting episode 2. Because it's a beast. That show is a beast, you know. But it really truly was creatively one of the most rewarding experiences that I've had in a minute.
Final question, please.
Hello, my name's Natalie, by the way. I love you so much. We know, since you played a big part, like as Augustus Stonehurst's daughter, will your part be expanded in season 3?
She's not coming back, I'm afraid. Yeah, but again, like Alan Miles with that world, you know, we didn't think that Gwendolyn Christie's character was going to come back either. You know, so who knows? Perhaps write letters. No, sadly, Judy is in the trunk. You know, but then I'm now also curious as to what's going to happen with the crow. Yeah, that's a plot point I'd be interested in seeing.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank
and
you.
Apologies for the beginning of this. We're going to take a big group selfie with you, if that's okay.
Oh, grand.
So if everyone wants to bash together. So sorry about that.
Oh, funny.
I'll come back, Ash.
Everyone smile. Hopefully everyone in, that's okay. So many of you. Pleasure. Thank you out to everyone. Heather is downstairs all weekend. Please go and see her and have an amazing time. Thank you for coming. And I'm back here again tomorrow if you want to come and see me tomorrow as well. Thank you. Guys. Cheers.